Hey, honey, do we have a pop bottle opener? A can opener. Yeah, no, I got a much better idea than this. Well, first we're going to start by making the very back that the bottle opener is going to be on. I have a couple of knots here that you can see on the back and the front that are going to have to be cut out, as well as down here on the bottom. And that will leave me the back that I can make a little decorative top and a flat bottom for the back to the bottle opener can mount. Go ahead and start by getting the back prepped and ready. Using my miter jig, we're going to put a couple dog ears with a stop block down here, so all we have to do is run it through once, flip it over, and then run it through again, and then they'll be perfectly centered. Now we're just going to take this thin strip and make a 3-inch wide piece that we're going to cut in half for the two sides of the bottle cap catcher. Now using the miter gauge, we're going to square up one end and then cut it in half. Now, because the leftover piece that I'm going to cut off the remainder for this second section is too small to really handle with one hand next to the blade, I'm going to take the cut off that I just did, put it right up next to it, and then I'm going to lay some tape right on top of it, and then take a second piece as a holder and just put it right on top, just so I have something more that I can hold on to back here. Now I've got my two pieces for the sides. All right, now you can kind of see how it's going to take shape. The bottle opener will be up here at the top, and then the bottle cap catcher will be down here at the bottom. To make this easier to handle, to make the rabbits instead of running through pieces that are this small, I'm going to just go ahead and make the rabbits and then flip it over and make the other rabbits, and then I'm going to cut it in half. Okay, now what I've done so far is the sides that are going to go right here, I have cut the dados to accept the bottom, and they will be sitting, once I get them orientated, right? They're going to be sitting just like that, and the bottom's going to be accepted here. Now this piece, I've run a series of grooves down it that I'm going to make the picture frames out of. So I'm just going to cut a strip off. This will be a picture frame. Cut it down the middle. This will be two picture frame pieces, and then cut another piece off, and then that'll be my fourth one that I can make all of the miters with. Okay, now I've already got the pieces cut for the picture frame. I've got the rabbits made, and I've ran them through the saw blade on both sides of the rabbit to make sure that they are exactly the same all the way around, and they are exactly square. That way when I go to cut the miters, they'll match up perfectly. We're going to use our miter gauge, and we're going to start by making one miter on one end of a picture frame piece, and then we'll do some measuring and then cut the rest of them. Now the long sections, the top and bottom of the picture frame, have to be 5 inches and a 1/16 long. So what we're going to do is put the 9-inch indicator, because I have to get it all the way off of my sled to get this down right, is just put it right there, right where the thickness of the longest part of this miter is going to meet. And we're just going to slide the piece all the way up to 14, which is 5 inches from 9, and then just 1/16 long. Then we're going to put a stop block right here, and that way we'll be able to batch cut the first two, and they'll be exactly the same. And now we're just going to do the same thing for the two shorter pieces. So now as you can see with the pieces put together, I have a rabbited picture frame for the plexiglass to sit in. Okay, now the two pieces that we cut the rabbet on to accept the bottom, we're just gonna cut down to size at 2 inches. And because these are kind of hard to handle, I taped them together just so it's all one piece again. Clean up glue squeeze out, I'm just taking one of these pieces that are knockoffs from the mitered picture frame as a glue cleanup. Alright, now I've got the picture frame here, and I've cut a couple pieces of plexiglass. I kind of changed my mind on the plywood bottom, so I went ahead and cut a piece of plexiglass that'll fit inside here as well. So the plexiglass is pretty easy since it's so small and it's not very heavy. We're just going to put a little super glue right here in the rabbet and press this into place, and that's all we need to do. Now we're just going to glue the frame in place. And it's not going to require a lot of clamping pressure, but just something to hold it in place. Just time to mount the bottle opener, and we're just going to center it by eye. And the opener came with a couple of screws which will not penetrate the back side here. So we're going to pre-drill these holes because we are close to the end and I do not want this to split, otherwise we've wasted all this time. The thing we're going to do is pre-drill for a mounting hole right here that whenever you go to mount it to your wall, you can put this right on top of that mounting hole and it will be covered up. Now we are going to have to put one down here unfortunately, and it'll have to be seen, but better one seen than two. Now this is what I'm talking about. Cheers. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this build on the pop bottle opener with bottle cap catcher. As you can see, I made it completely on the table saw and used a random orbit sander. Those are the only two tools that I had, and it turned out great. I only had one casualty right here during the sanding process, and I had a little nick on the frame, but you know, for the way it turned out, I am perfectly happy with just a little bit of problem right there. It adds a little bit of character. So, well, this project is going to be up for auction on eBay as of today. I'll leave a link down in the description for you. And some lucky winner, I should say, will be the proud owner of this Rockin' H pop bottle opener, or beer bottle opener. Now, if I can only think of a woodworker who would love something like this. Perhaps he'd be drunk most of the time. If you're new to this channel, I want to welcome you. I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Be sure and rate this video with a thumbs up to let me know that you care. You can also check out all my other social media sites right over here, as well as a link to my past video right here, and I invite you to check out all of my archive videos as well. I have plenty to go around. So until next week, guys, I will see you then.